Hi everyone, TardisGuy123 here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Torchwood, More Than This.
The 21st century is when everything changes, and you've got to be ready.
So then, Torchwood, More Than This is the series finale to the first series of Big Finish's Torchwood Adventures, and that began back in September last year, 2015, and has now finished up last month, February 2016. And then immediately after that, we are getting the Victorian Age, the premiere of the second series in March. So, you know, arguably it's a series, but it's sort of like an ongoing range. I wouldn't be surprised if Series 3 started September this year and we just had it as a monthly range, and, you know, I would quite like that, to be honest. But anyway, Torchwood, More Than This stars Eve Miles as Gwen Cooper, and apparently she's not going to be doing any more. There was a whole brouhaha over Twitter or something, I don't know, but who knows. I guess we'll just have to wait for more news on that. But in the meantime, Torchwood, More Than This here, we have the wonderful cover there with Eve Miles on the front and the remnants of the Torchwood hub in the background there, and then you've got the Torchwood logo at the bottom with More Than This under it, and then by Guy Adams, and you've got the Big Finish We Love Stories logo there. You've also got a black outline going around the whole thing, if you can see that. Forecast audio drama written up there. On the side there, just this way, you can see outside the government, beyond the police written there. Turning it to the spine now, Torchwood, More Than This. Interestingly, instead of having 1.6 written there, it is just 6. So whether or not it'll be 2.1 or just 7 for the next one, I don't know. But anyway, here we have the back with the cast and the blurb. And now looking on the inside, we have the single disc there. It's just a 1 hour story with behind the scenes, and there are the other 5 stories also available. And now we have lastly the booklet, which is just a single 1-page leaflet. Once again, you've got the front with the cover on it, you've got the back with production credits on it, then inside you have Torchwood Will Return and the images of the cast right there. Now, before I go into my thoughts on this release itself, I would just like to say that I haven't actually picked up any Torchwood releases before this. This was my first one. I heard it was relatively standalone, despite being a series finale, and I can definitely agree with that. It honestly feels a bit more like a premiere in some ways, because it's very much Gwen Cooper starting up Torchwood again, and it sort of like feels a bit of a fresh start in that sense. But at the same time, it works as a finale. But at the same time, you know, since the Victorian Age is coming just after, could it really be classed as that much of a finale? It's not so like the episode that you're leaving on, it's just the end of one block of production, I guess. But, you know, for my first one, it was very interesting in that respect. And actually my first sort of like proper experience with Torchwood that I can remember, I did watch like a couple of the original series from the first 2 series. I think I watched Meat, I think, was one of the ones with the giant space whale thing. I can't remember that much. And the one in the school with the evil stepdad who got killed by getting inside out, eaten by these weird fairy-like things. I honestly, those are my memories of Torchwood pretty much. And, you know, it just didn't really interest me enough to go back to it. This, however, did interest me quite a bit, and has got me interested in the entire range, because it is a very strong release, which you've sort of come to expect from Big Finish, really. You know, it's just, it's very action-packed, very interesting, not flawless though, and we'll get on to that in a bit. Now, I know there is sort of like a committee plot line going on. There's sort of like they're the overarching villains of the series. No mention of them at all in this. They're not featured at all in this release whatsoever. So that may disappoint some people there, given that it's a series finale and everything. But, you know, I've already talked about that. But yeah, just to say that those who are interested, those who have been following this series and want to know whether or not this contributes to that arc, no, it doesn't. It more contributes to the whole Gwen rebuilding Torchwood arc, which I believe was set up in Forgotten Lives, which also featured Gwen and her husband. Now for my thoughts on the story, and it's very much a two-hander between Gwen Cooper and Roger Pugh, and it's very much narrated by Roger Pugh throughout. He's sort of like, the plot device is very much him talking to his wife's grave, and it's sort of like that sets it all up, and he's telling her about his day and how he met Gwen Cooper and then went on this miraculous adventure which took him all around Cardiff fighting different monsters and threats and weird creatures that come from that. I think the narration works very well in that respect and feels almost more like a companion chronicle than, well, it doesn't feel almost more like a companion chronicle, it basically is a companion chronicle really, rather than an early adventure where it's told from sort of like a outside point of view. This one is very much told through the character who's been through the story and get to hear his opinions on it, how he feels, get a real insight into his character as well as just sort of like the details of what's going on at the same time. And that's quite interesting. That very much helped me to empathise with Roger Pugh as a character, and I didn't expect to like him as much as I did here. Would I like him to come back? I wouldn't mind, but I think he works very well within this story alone and has very interesting character growth, and it's also very interesting from Gwen Cooper's point of view, seeing how far she's come from the start, given that she used to be the rookie who sort of like was brought in from the outside worlds, and then here she's sort of like bringing someone else in from the outside world, and you get to see a different point of view there and how much she's probably changed since she joined Torchwood. And that's quite interesting at the same time. So that also provides a little bit of insight into Gwen's character, but at the same time it is very much Roger Pugh's story in a lot of ways, and it's also about grief and lots of other things going on with his character, and ultimately asking the question, is there really more than this, which is sort of like where the title derives from and everything. And that's quite interesting. Is there more to the everyday lives that we lead? And as Roger Pugh finds out, there is. And then it's not just about that, it's about how he feels about it. Does it make him feel more significant? Does it make him feel even less significant? And it's a very interesting study into that. And, while he's along for the ride with Gwen Cooper in terms of physical action and whatnot, she's sort of like along for the ride with him in terms of emotional impact, and sort of like that's quite interesting at the same time. And in some ways it's a day in the life of Torchwood, where we follow Gwen around on her everyday shenanigans really. Not too much going on there in terms of an overall plot for the story. It's more about the characters than a single alien invasion attempt or whatever. It's all like little bits here and there that she just has to go clean up, or track down a rogue alien or something. Not too much in terms of that, and to be honest it did get a bit tedious towards the middle there, but then sort of like the final half does focus on one thing, and that works quite a bit. But what's tying it all together is the two characters who are going on this journey, and they do work very well. You also do have some other characters mixed in there as well. You have Sergeant Andy Davison, who, I'll be honest, just sort of like pops in from time to time, doesn't really play much of a role in the story, wouldn't have been any different if he wasn't there. Just some good jokes and a very funny one at the end. But for the most part, he's just there really, didn't serve much purpose. And he is getting his own Torchwood release, I think it's called The Ghost Mission or Ghost Machine, something like that, coming out in May. So this sort of like sets up that a bit, I guess, but if he was taken out of the story, it wouldn't have been any different, to be honest. Yeah, I guess he doesn't take away anything in particular, he just doesn't really add anything, I feel. And yeah, that's how I feel about his character. And then other characters, you don't really have any other characters really. You sort of have minor roles here and there, but nothing sort of like an actual character, just literally something in the background to help move the plot forward really. So yeah, Torchwood More Than This is a fun little release, worth £10, It's not got too much going on with it really. Doesn't work too well as a series finale, but yeah, I've got that quite a few times now. And you know, it's just an interesting standalone story really, and a very interesting character study. And you know, I love both of the characters in this. Eve Miles is great as Gwen Cooper. She does an excellent job with that character, and you get to see a lot of good action stuff from, well, not see obviously, but hear a lot of good action stuff from her going on there. And then there's also obviously Roger Pugh, and he's quite an entertaining character. There's some funny lines in there. There's also some quite mature moments as well. Not just in terms of sort of like mature adult material after the watershed stuff. There is a bit of that, not too much. You know, I've heard that it goes a bit more adult in some other ones, such as Uncanny Valley. This one isn't that bad on that respect, just a couple of swear words here and there. But, you know, it's got adult content in terms of emotional value and sort of like the grief that Roger Pugh goes through, and you know, stuff like that really. You know, nothing too much, not necessarily suitable to a younger listener, but you know, it's sort of like following the tradition of Torchwood, but not being too gratuitous. So I like it in that respect, and you know, it's sort of like it uses its swear words well, I guess is the best way to put it. It doesn't sort of like throw them all over the place. It does use them appropriately. I don't know, rambling a bit now. So anyway, Torchwood More Than This is very entertaining. Not too great story. You know, there's not really much of a story there, to be honest. Not really much of a plot in terms of physical stuff that actually happens. It's more about the internal turmoil of the characters here, and so you know, it's a nice change of pace in that respect. Well, I can't think of a Big Finish order I've listened to that's done that before, so that's very nice. So Torchwood More Than This gets an 8 out of 10 from me. Solid release right here. I'd recommend picking it up maybe if you're sort of like interested in picking up the bundle for Series 2 but don't want to go full jump into there and want to listen to something first. This one's a very good one to pick up on its own. That's sort of like my intention, to sort of like see whether or not Torchwood would be right for me to then go jumping into getting the full Series 2. Will I get the full Series 2? Probably. You know, I'm very interested in the Victorian age, having Jack back in Victorian times. That should be very interesting. That looks very fun. So, you know, Torchwood has found a new home at Big Finish now. More Than This is an excellent story from that range. And that's all I've really got to say here. Thank you everyone for watching this review. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you've enjoyed listening to me ramble on for, I'm not sure how long it's been, probably a bit too long now. So I'm going to end off by saying thank you once again for watching. Next review will be Vengeance on Varos, I believe, hopefully. Yeah, controversial one that, especially the acid bath scene, but we'll discuss that then. So, once again, said this many times now, but thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye everyone.
Miss Cooper, I can't simply abandon my office and go gallivanting off with you. There is due process and procedure to a planning application. Who do you think you are?
A woman who cuts through due process and procedure. Want to help save the world?
What?
Get in.
Most people just assume I'll do whatever they say. They beat you into submission with their self-importance, leaving no room for discussion. Give her her due, Miss Cooper. Gwen, wasn't like that.
Now, where did I...
Keep your eyes on the road, woman!
Fine. If it'll make you more comfortable, then you can get the temporal anchor from my back.
Temporal what?
Up ahead, you see that? That coach and horses, right? It's a temporal incursion, time leakage.
Oh, I thought it was just a tourist thing.
What? If it was a tourist thing, I wouldn't be doing this. Would I? Hey! Wash your mouth out, mate! Tourist thing.
I don't know, do I? There was more. So much more.